That is who I am as a person. So when I'm thinking about how to help you alleviate your own stress and poverty in your life, the same way I had to go and figure out how to do it in mine, I need to make sure you can understand the steps though, because it doesn't do me any good to give you all this material when you don't know how to dissect it and apply it. Everyone does not do that. They do not talk to you the way that I or anybody else in this place will talk to you. They won't do that because their main priority is to save face, represent that brand, and to get your money. My main goal is to make sure we're all okay. We're all have an even playing field. I'm sorry, it's just a boring race when you're the only one at the start and finish line. I'd rather you guys be running with me. I'd rather you throw me the baton and I catch it and I pass it to someone else. That's the greatest thing I could ask for. But I'll take whatever I can as long as I am with my kin, my friend, my loved ones while I'm doing it. Because what's the point of being at the top when you're alone? So these are the things I want you guys to think about when you're building, when you're creating, when you're trying to figure out how to defy what every invisible entry barrier you thought was here in Web3. Because once you get past that invisible gate that never was, you're going to see all the things that are. And with that, I yield the floor. BB, Jurdius, love if you guys give a comment. Hey, come up and speak or send us a chat and we'll read it out loud. Thank you guys for being here. Let's start up the floor and have a great conversation.
Hello. I think we both we came in the same time. Yeah, I agree with everything what you said and Craig eh, I have not so much to say. I'm learning. I'm in NFTs like almost a year, but I still feel like I still feel like I know almost nothing. I cannot. I don't feel like I can teach people. Yeah. The only thing I can tell is it is my experience, and it's okay because in the beginning I didn't know nothing about crypto. It was literally everything was new for me. I learned it, and I learned how to transfer and everything. How to buy, how to everything. But about NFTs, I think we are still in that point when we still don't understand everything. Me, I'm artist, but I don't know. I think my art is good, but still NFT is not about art. It's different. uh, I don't know how to explain this, but it's
No,
not
you're
about
good,
your art.
BB.
You understand?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, it's complicated. I think we still need to uh, there is still time to get to that point when we are gonna understand what is happening. I think I'm done.
Thanks, BB. Yeah, exactly. And the biggest thing, Drid, I'll throw it over to you next, is that just realizing that your stories is you and you sharing those stories is helpful because those that experience that you can share is possibly just some learning, even if it's just easy like basic stuff to you. Well, they still haven't done it, so it's not necessarily easy for them yet until they go through that process too. But you saying that you've gone through that kind of lets them know, hey, it's okay to step out into that Web3 and get your first wallet and set it up and figure out how to go on Solana, things like that. So it's super important. And just a heads up reminder, we do take about a minute break every 15 or so to grab some water, make sure you stay hydrated, get up, stretch, and things like that. So just keep that in mind as we roll closer to that quarter after. Dread, over to you, sir. And then Fuzzy, if you got anything.
I think the shadows
My
have
bad.
disappeared. Oh, there he is.
Yeah, I was trying to get back to the screen. When you talk about entry barriers, well, the one thing that's been a concern of mine is the rapid development of Web3. Everyone needs help getting onboarded in the in Web3 as it is, but it's being developed at a rate that's so outstanding that it's hard for everyone to keep up with the basic things before something else is being brought out. That has been on my mind the last couple of weeks. Keeping up with tech and onboarding individuals so they don't get lost in a process. Because the first thing everyone brings to me, well, hey, this came out. How does this relate to this? And I'm telling them, well, focus on the basics. Don't worry about that. But it's hard for them not to worry about it when you got a huge news article on it on Google telling you to focus on something else.
Yeah, 100%. And it's so true. There's always also new technology on the technology that's forked and then hard forked over, all those sorts of fun terminologies when it's really just building off of one blockchain, right? Fuzzy, any entry barriers that you think make it hard for people to join in on what we're doing? I know you do similar things in similar spaces. Sorry, sir, go ahead.
Hey, all good, all good. I've only been here for the last 4 minutes, but I think I get the gist of the conversation. You may have already mentioned some things, so I apologise if I'm just saying something that someone already said before I came into the room. I agree with the point just made. How do I say this? Dreedius. I don't know how to pronounce it, but
Yeah,
um,
Dred's good, man.
yeah, yeah. So, like, yeah, I think you made the point about the technology changing so rapidly and all that kind of stuff. And I was thinking the same sort of similar thoughts to what you were saying. Like you just got to stick to the basic and fundamentals. I very much are focusing on like a particular lane. I realized quite early on that I can't know everything, and when you first get into this, it's like, oh, I've got to watch all this stuff and this thing's happening, and like you just mentioned about like this story comes out and etc. etc. But going back to the question, I think just the language and the terminologies. I think that is the immediate barrier because everyone has to learn a whole new language to understand what you're talking about and to understand the concepts. So, yeah, try and break that down and not use jargon as much as possible. But it's very hard because a lot of times there are no other words. So you have to try and learn metaphors. And that's still something I have to learn, like how to explain things in an easier to digest way. But yeah, that would be my share. Thank you.
I would agree. Keeping it simplified, making sure that the average person can consume it in little snackable bites is the best way that we can scale ourselves and each other together into this space. Because what is emerging is not so much new, but the presence of us and it is new. We know zeros and ones have been around for a while, but how we're applying it this time is what is really, really making the difference. When you're able to pay someone halfway across the world in a country with, not good signal, not good economy, but as long as they have a phone and they can download an app and receive stellar lumens, receive Litecoin, receive any, they're fine. They can convert it to their local currency and go about their day in their way. We know that this exists. There are thousands and millions of people right now impoverished that do not know that it is possible. They don't know that reparations can come very quickly from their their cousins in America trying to send those remittances. I'm sorry, not reparations, remittances. Your remittances take hours to move. You don't have to do that anymore with where we're at in crypto. I see that solving a humanitarian problem because there's millions of people around the world that leave their country and they send remittances home and it takes time. It makes problems. You even have other people like I've known and have seen and have watched actively build barrels of food to mail home to their family, and in those barrels they hide money because the fee costs way too much at Western Union. to send it. That's egregious. That someone here wants to take care of their family and they have an entry barrier, a gate, a barrier to do that when it comes to the financial scope. And crypto takes it away. Web3 takes it away. Us having the power as the consumers in Web